First, Bill Gates' daughter launched a self-shopping app that uses AI to save you money.
Second, Tesla's worst year ever is the best year for its stock because Tesla's like a young avocado tree.
And third, why U.S. Olympians are getting paid $200,000 each. It's a Billionaire's philanthropy race.
It involves Nicki Minaj. Jack, let's hit the 3 stories. This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Thursday, the new Friday, January 29th, and today's spot is the best one yet. This is a T-Boy.
The top 3 pop business news stories you need to know today.
I'm sorry I made a mistake. It's not the best one yet, it's the best one yet, because Jack's inflatable vest from yesterday has grown into today's podcast too, hasn't it, Jack?
Dude, I did another talk today, and again, I wanted to signal I used to work in finance, but now I ski all the time.
Actually, besties, the reason Jack's wearing a vest is T-Boy is going to the Starbucks Investor Day today. We're seeing the CEO in person.
True. Nick, when I had to register, they asked me, what's your favorite Starbucks drink? I went super basic and frugal. I said a venti Pike's Roast with room for cream.
Did you say drip coffee?
Yeah, I did. I said drip coffee.
Just give me the decaf frap. Jack, let's hit our 3 stories. For our first story, Bill Gates' daughter co-founded an AI self-shopping fashion app that just hit a $180 million valuation.
Can AI find you any outfit for the lowest price in the world? If it can, this is butlerification.
Now, besties, we know what you're thinking before we jump into the story. This is about nepopreneurship, right? Like Bill Gates' daughter, her worst startup's worth millions of dollars.
Well, let's give this idea a chance. It's a pretty great idea.
It is, because Phoebe Gates and Sophia Kiani were roommates over at Stanford University, and they had a love-hate relationship with their closet.
So last year, they launched an app called Fia.
The first 2 letters of one of their names, the last 2 letters of the other's name.
Fia is an AI shopping agent, basically a self-shopping wingman.
Yeah, it's like a digital version of that friend who would actually go into all the changing rooms with you, unlike anyone else.
And they raised an $8 million seed round from Kleiner Perkins, Hailey Bieber, Sheryl Sandberg, and Kris Jenner, among others.
Basically a cap table with the rare combination of Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and Bravo TV.
Well, with that momentum, they just raised another $30 million to reach a $180 million valuation.
And impressively, none of it from her dad, Bill Gates.
Or her mom, Melinda Gates.
And already, Fia has 1 million downloads and 6,000 retail partners on their e-commerce platform.
They even launched a podcast to promote their business and have 2 million followers on social media.
So they don't even have to pay for marketing. This is a business that Miranda Priestley would actually be interested in.
And they're using the fashion world to pioneer a new concept that we call AI shopping arbitrage.
Jack, could you sprinkle on some financial context for arbitrage, please?
Arbitrage is a financial situation where you can profit off of a different price in different markets on the same product.
For example, you could buy something for $50 over here because you know you can sell it for $100 over there.
And the same opportunity exists for clothing, if you're willing to do resale or secondhand.
And if you have access to all the clothing apps out there, like a maxi floral print dress over at Anthropologie, right now that's going to cost you $200.
But the Fia app will tell you that the same dress is available on Poshmark for $80 or on the Real Real for $75.
You see, AI finds the cheaper version of the same dress. It's basically like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy meets The Eye of Sauron.
Or as they say, style meets sustainability, which Bill Gates would be proud of.
But what Jack and I find fascinating is that it turns shopping into investing, right, Jack?
Because Fia also launched a product called Should I Buy This?, which is an AI browser extension that can help you girl math your way into buying that item.
Because you see the resale value of the clothes. Like, yeah, this Coach handbag cost $1,000, but it says you can sell it for $800 on resale markets and the secondary value's going up.
That helps you justify the purchase because it kind of only feels like you're spending $200.
I mean, Jack, I didn't buy the handbag. The data made me do it.
So that's Fia's business model. One challenge, however, is behavioral.
Right.
Using an AI agent to find you the best item is efficient, but does it kill the joy of the treasure hunt and shopping in person?
Another risk to the business? Sam Altman. Like Jack, you could ask Fia's AI to help find you the lowest price, or will you ask ChatGPT to do that?
That's actually a risk for all these specialized AI apps. The big general AI apps do it too.
What would Miranda Priestley do? So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Fia?
Fia represents the butlerification of AI.
Yeti's, everyone is trying to find ways to use AI to optimize their lives. But you know what? It's actually kind of hard.
The most common way, by far, is using it at work. You want to boost your productivity, save the company money so you can get promoted or at least not fired.
But in our personal lives, without the pressure of work productivity, you might be slower to adopt AI.
But FIA represents what we call the butler segment of artificial intelligence.
The butler segment, where AI saves time and money on the activities that you already do.
Like finding the same Rolex you've always dreamed of owning someday, but for 60% lower price at that random e-commerce website in Belgium.
That you otherwise never would have found. Butlerification of the economy, it'll start with activities like this, like shopping, and then we think it'll trickle down.
Butlerification. Using AI to make you feel like Bruce Wayne.
Yes. For our second story, Tesla just announced huge profit declines and their first full year of revenue shrinkage ever.
But the stock rose almost to an all-time high.
They're all-time highing.
Because Tesla stock isn't a stock anymore. If you want to understand what's happening with Tesla, you got to realize it's a young avocado tree.
But besties first, mark thy calendars.
Because according to Financial Times reporting, Elon Musk has chosen the date of SpaceX's future IPO.
What is it going to be, Jack?
June 28th. Because that's Elon's birthday.
June 28th, Elon's birthday, my dad's birthday, and my mother-in-law's birthday, Jack. I should point that out.
Really?
Yeah.
It's also right around the time Jupiter aligns with Venus, according to Elon.
Yeah, no joke. SpaceX is actually planning their IPO around the zodiac when Jupiter aligns with Venus.
I'm not sure it's technically zodiac, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You know what? That's classic Pisces of you, Jack. Classic Pisces. And you know what, besties? It makes sense. But Jack, how about Elon's first company that already IPO'd, Tesla?
All right, I'm still finishing that Pisces comment. That is, yesterday, Tesla announced what was on paper their worst earnings ever by far.
Let's hit the numbers. Revenue, profits, cash flow all fell big.
Other vehicles, the category that includes the Cybertruck, fell 48% in the fourth quarter.
Besties, let this sink in. Revenue for Tesla peaked more than 2 years ago. Their profits down 75% in 2025.
But guess what? Despite their worst quarter ever, Tesla stock rose after announcing earnings yesterday.
Tesla stock hit an all-time high earlier this month.
So you got to ask the question, why is Tesla all-time highing when sales and profits have been shrinking for 2 straight years?
Well, here's the answer, Jack. Because revenue, profits, they don't matter for Tesla. The rules of Econ 101 do not apply.
And we've actually been here before with Tesla.
We have.
You see, in the late 2010s, Tesla was way more valuable on Wall Street than its core business justified.
Back then, when Jack and I were covering Tesla's earnings like we still do today, you owned Tesla stock not because of the financials, but because of faith.
Faith that Elon Musk would execute his master plan to scale electric cars and become way more profitable than any other car company.
Well, you know what? He did it. Those who had faith in Elon's electric vehicle bet were rewarded. And now we're in that same scenario yet again.
Except this time, the faith is that Tesla will transform from a car company into the leader of autonomy and robotics.
Besties, sit down, stand up, and buckle up, because what Jack and I are saying is Tesla's car business does not matter anymore.
That's what Elon wants Wall Street to think, and Wall Street seems to agree. Because someday, you won't need to own a Tesla car. You'll just hail a cybercab.
And you know what, Jack? You won't even clean your dishes at home when you're there. You can just summon your Tesla Optimus Prime robot to do that for you instead.
In fact, Elon announced yesterday that Tesla is ending their Model S and Model X luxury car program and converting that factory in California to just produce Optimus robots.
This is like Netflix ending their DVD business. Tesla will not be making a major SUV anymore.
But if you're still not understanding how it could be at all-time high stock prices when profits are down 75%, you got to hear our takeaway.
Because it's like our favorite analogy. Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Tesla?
Tesla stock is a young avocado tree.
You see, Yetis, if Tesla is an avocado tree and avocados are profits, then Tesla is not very fruitful right now.
Toyota produces a 10 times bigger profit harvest than Tesla does. Toyota is way more fruitful than Tesla.
But Toyota is an old tree. They're not going to get any bigger. While Tesla is a young tree, they got a lot of growth ahead.
So would you rather own an old fruitful tree like Toyota or a young tree with the potential to grow 10 times bigger like Tesla?
That is the analogy that explains why Tesla is worth 5 times as much as Toyota, despite being a fraction as profitable.
All the conventional car companies, they're at their peak, post-peak, or has-beens.
Jack, we might want to call an arborist. I think that limb is dead. Do you see some rot over there?
But if you believe Elon's story about autonomy and robots, then Tesla today is a sapling on the verge of blossoming into a mighty tree that will produce avocados like no tree ever has before.
Like always ripe avocados. Besties, investors say Tesla stock is valuable because of its growth potential.
But we'd say Tesla stock is valuable because it's like a young avocado tree.
Now, a quick word from our sponsor.
For our third and final story, Team USA Olympians are getting $200,000 each thanks to a huge donation from a rich guy.
But hang on, JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Nicki Minaj also announced yesterday they're donating money to America's kids.
Jack, what's going on, man?
It's a golden era of billion-dollar donations, and we're exploring why.
Besties, whip out the calendars. You got 1 week and 1 day to the Olympic Games opening ceremony, right, Jack?
One of the rare moments when all Americans can root for the same thing.
Rangers fans, Devils fans, united for Team USA. And yet, despite receiving the most medals every year, our government does not pay Team USA a dime.
Some Swede is going to comment that they won more medals than Team USA one time.
78.
But still, big names like Lindsey Vonn and Michaela Schifrin, they get big sponsorship money. But no-namers who are doing luge, they have to live off $1,000 to $5,000 a month stipends.
I mean, Jack, remember the pro curler who taught us how to curl during my bachelor party? He was teaching bachelor parties how to curl when he wasn't at the Olympics.
Because he got paid so little on Team USA.
You see, besties, athletes do get paid by the U.S. Olympic Committee if they win medals, but most don't get that medal bonus.
So for most athletes, health insurance is the most valuable compensation they receive for being on Team USA.
The result, most Team USA athletes have part-time day jobs totally unrelated to their sport, unless it's side hustling with bachelor parties for a curl.
Home Depot and Dick's Sporting Goods apparently hire a lot of Team Olympics people.
But here's the news. All of that is changing thanks to a $100 million donation from billionaire financier Ross Stevens.
Ross Stevens, not to be mistaken with Stephen Ross, who is another billionaire financier.
Side note, if you work in finance like we used to, your life goal is not managing director, it is financier. If you are named a financier, it means you have won at capitalism.
That's true. But starting with these Olympics and these Paralympics, all Team USA athletes will get $200,000 for each Olympic Games that they compete in.
But Jack, could you sprinkle on some fine print context for us, please?
Yeah, Nick, you won the game of capitalism for reasons like this. The first $100,000 comes 20 years after the games they plan or when they turn 45.
The other $100K comes upon death to take care of the athletes' families.
So it's really more of a safety net than a salary.
But besties, Jack and I got to pause the pod for a sec. Have you noticed more billionaires are announcing giant donations than ever before?
We've noticed it. First, it was the railroad billionaire Timothy Mellon, who donated $130 million to pay troops during the shutdown.
Then it was Michael Dell, who donated over $6 billion to America's children via the new Trump accounts.
And then it was Ray Dalio, who donated to all Connecticut children via the new Trump accounts.
And now Ross Stevens is donating to America's Olympic athletes.
And that's not all, folks. JP Morgan and Bank of America announced yesterday they're matching the $1,000 government contribution to their employees' children's Trump accounts.
And a dozen other CEOs have announced the same thing, matching contributions to those kids' Trump accounts as well.
And guess what? Nicki Minaj.
What, Jack?
She announced yesterday she's donating up to $300,000 to fund the Trump accounts of her music fans.
Pause the pod. Her Majesty has dropped her Anaconda cash on kids' investing accounts, Jack?
Every day I'm seeing a new very rich person announce a flashy targeted donation to something.
This is why Jack and I are flashing our Venmo QR codes on the screen. So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over in America's financier billionaires?
This is red, white, and blue philanthropy. That's pro-market and pro-competition.
Besties, philanthropy, never been hotter among the billionaire class than right now.
Remember the proposed ballot initiative in California to tax billionaires? That faced hot resistance from the private jet crowd.
But interestingly, if allowed to do so freely to causes they love, billionaires seem to be giving away more money than ever before.
And Nick and I have a few reasons why. First, there's been unbelievable wealth creation in the stock market the last few years.
Second, there's consensus that in the AI era, riches must be shared. They can't be concentrated among a few individuals.
There's also probably a feeling among billionaires in the Trump era that they're more appreciated, so they're feeling more generous and opened up their wallets.
But mostly, we've noticed that all these donations have an Americana theme, have we not, Jack?
Yeah, think about it. Billionaires love the stock market.
Hence the Trump accounts.
They love competition.
Hence the Olympic donation.
And they love troops.
Hence the military donation. These billionaire donations smell like hot dogs and Budweiser.
But they also smell like Wall Street and capitalism.
Yeah, they do, Jack. And that's why we're calling this the golden era of billionaire philanthropy.
It's red, white, and blue, pro-market and pro-competition.
Jack, could you and that vest whip up the takeaways for us for the new Friday?
3 more billionaires announced huge donations yesterday to baby stock accounts and to Olympic athletes.
It's red, white, and blue philanthropy, pro-market and pro-competition donations.
For our second story, Tesla is ending its Model S and Model X production to focus on robots.
After its worst quarter ever, Tesla, they're not producing many avocados yet, but just wait until this young avocado tree grows up.
And our third and final story is Fia, the shopping wing woman app that uses AI to find the lowest price on resale markets.
They hit $180 million valuation, part of the butlerification of AI.
But besties, this pod's not over yet. Here's what else you need to know today.
First, as expected, our central bank announced no change to interest rates.
Meanwhile, Meta announced earnings that beat, and Microsoft announced earnings that missed.
And on top of it all, the stock market's at a record high while consumer confidence just hit a 12-year low.
Wild economy, Eddies.
Started to sound like a country music song. This is up, this is down, Jack. And second, sad day for comfy feet. Allbirds is officially closing all their brick and mortar shoe stores.
Silicon Valley's favorite shoe was once worth $4 billion. But since the IPO, the stock has fallen by over 99%.
They're now worth about $30 million. Never forget that first shoe store of theirs in Soho, by the way, Jack. They had a human-sized hamster wheel so you could test the shoes out on it. Remember that?
Brilliant.
Yes.
But also, a warning, never forget the 3 F's of fads: food, fitness, and fashion.
And finally, the hot new acquisition of 2026, it's Indian cricket teams.
Blackstone and Carlyle, 2 US PE firms, are about to acquire 2 cricket teams over in India.
The Royal Challengers of Bengaluru and the Rajasthan Royals. Each could go for over $1 billion.
Pro sports teams. They're one of the few truly finite things in this world. Valuations from the NFL to the WNBA to cricket are at all-time highs.
Now time for the best fact yet. This one sent in by Austin Johnson, a legendary Yeti from Seattle.
Earlier this week, we told you about Graza, the olive oil company that started putting olive oil in plastic bottles instead of green glass bottles.
Okay, but here's the question we're all wondering. Why is olive oil always in green glass bottles?
And why is most wine in a green bottle?
But why is beer always in a brown glass bottle?
It's not random. There's a reason for this. And the reason is sunlight.
Because clear glass lets in all the sun's harmful UV rays, it doesn't protect those liquid ingredients.
But green glass blocks more of the UV rays, so it protects the olive oil and the wine.
And brown glass blocks even more of the UV rays, and beer is the most sensitive of those liquids, which is why it's always in brown glass.
So the thing you've seen for years and decades and thought was random, It actually has a perfect rationale behind it.
Totally. Colored glass, like sunscreen for luxury liquids.
And the brown colored glass, that's the SPF 50.
Yetis, you look fantastic over there. And Jack, you are looking sharp for the Starbucks Investor Day today.
Thank you. It's not my first Investor Day. Back when I was a banker, I used to attend these things.
Ain't my first Investor Day.
I haven't been to one in like 10 years, though.
You were going to the Hammacher Schlemmer annual conference? Yeah. But Starbucks, this is big. I mean, we're going to see the execs, man. Besties, if you've got a question for the executive team of Starbucks, drop it in the comments. We'll add it to the list.
Yeah, I'm going to pull a Dwight Schrute and stand in line and ask the executive team some hard-hitting question.
Why is pumpkin spice flavor or lifestyle?
I should ask that.
It's a trick question. If you know, you know. Before we go, a happy 5-month birthday to our daughter, Selena Rose Martell. You are glowing right now. Hope you enjoyed that first bite of oatmeal yesterday.
Hang on a second. You guys celebrate 5/12ths birthdays?
Oh, Jack.
I thought quarterly birthdays was already a stretch.
This was in the S1, man. This was in the IBO S1, man.
And happy birthday to Emily B. in Orland, Illinois, which is the future home of that mega ultra super max Amazon store.
And Brooklyn Parko is celebrating her 3rd birthday with a K-pop Demon Hunters Raptors theme down in Phoenix.
Happy birthday to Joe Gonzalez in Chicago, Illinois.
And Philip Scallett, happy birthday over in St. Louis.
Happy birthday to Amanda Balsey in Vancouver, Canada.
And Ole Miss, the Tupelo honey-colored black lab hound mix is turning 10 years old with their adoptiversary in Rye, New Hampshire.
I think it's a gotcha-versary.
Bark, 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 Jack. And Matthew Torres is going to our live show in lovely Los Angeles and just won his first pickleball tournament.
And a big shout out to Kevin Erickson, who we love for listening to the show.
And Andrew Counter and the whole Standard Metrics team, congrats on the coolest office in San Francisco and the new video launch.
Big shout out to Mike Pichak for fireside chatting with me at the Vermont Economic Conference yesterday.
Now, good call not wearing the tie, Mike.
Yeah,
good call.
because I was wearing my vest and that would have been a weird look.
And Kyle Yoon, the legendary Yeti I met at the art show. Apologies, your son Hugh is the best one yet.
This is Jack, Nick on Stock of The Real Real.